Hello everybody, this is Keepa, and welcome to Let's Play Legend of Mana. So this is my first Let's Play, and I want it to be hopefully a good one. And I figured I'd do a Let's Play on this game just because this game is pretty awesome. And I'm actually in the process of playing Seiken Densetsu 3, which is another pretty cool game that I plan on doing a Let's Play on. So there'll be a couple of Let's Plays that I'm going to be doing. But I'm starting with this one because this game is my favorite out of the Mana series. I mean, the graphics are great. Just the characters are fun and the stories are fun. And I love the art style. The art style is amazing. You know, I like drawing, and so just the art style in this game is really, really cool. And you know, it's 2D and it's kind of like anime-ish, but you know, with like a twist, I guess. You know. And so I think that that's pretty cool. I guess they wanted to make this game more like, you know, just fun. Well, most of the Mana games are the same. Like this one is not too different, with the exception of like the attacking, I guess, in the game. I noticed that that's different as far as like it's still an action RPG, but it's different. I noticed that in like Secret of Mana and Seiken 3. When the character attacks, he's kind of got to like wait a second and then attack again. In this game, it's like attack. So I don't know. That's kind of different. It's pretty cool. I guess something little upgrade they gave to the game. But okay, why don't we go ahead and get started? Okay, so here we have a choice between a guy and a girl. I have seen some people can't tell the difference, but this is the guy, this is the girl. You know, whatever makes you happy, whatever character you decide to choose, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to change the story in any way. I think it may change the dialogue a little, just because, you know, guy, girl, but I don't think it affects the story per se. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the girl today. Here we have a wide variety of weapons that you can use, and I think that this is a very good aspect in an RPG. Most RPGs, you don't have a choice. The main character uses swords. You're stuck with swords throughout the entire game. In this game, you can have a knife now, and then later on you might say, hey, I want to use a two-handed sword. You can switch. And you'll just have to master the weapon and learn the new techniques, but, I mean, small price to pay just to be able to change a weapon and have a different variety of fighting styles. So we have a knife, a sword, axe, two-handed sword, two-handed axe, hammer, spear, staff, glove, flail, and bow. You know, every weapon has something different to offer. You got your ranged weapons, you got your close range weapons, you got your long range weapons. It all depends on how you feel. So if you feel like using a spear, use a spear, whatever. I'm going to start with something different. I don't think I've ever used a hammer, so I'm going to use a hammer. Alright, now here we get to name our character. One cool feature about this is that, let's say you're not really good with making up names, you know, whatever, and you can just press this auto button here and it will generate a name for you. You can press it as many times as you want, and I think there's a set amount of names in the game, but I mean, until something is pleasing to you, you can just keep pressing that auto button. So I'm going to press it until I find something I like. we'll stick with Rose just to save a little time. Okay, now here is the map selecting screen. Area select screen. It does not affect the game in any way. I know someone asked me earlier if it affects what artifacts you get. Actually, a buddy of mine that does Let's Plays too, his name is Big Jew. I'll put his YouTube in the little Dropbox down below. But he wanted to know if whatever area you choose, would it affect what artifacts you get? It does not affect what artifacts you unlock. What affects the artifacts is the way you play the game. Depending on what side stories you do, things like that, that affects what artifacts you unlock. But selecting an area does not affect the game in any way. It's just there for kicks. So we'll go ahead and choose an area. Okay. Now here we have our very first artifact, which is a mailbox. You can put it anywhere on the map. It does not affect the way the game will unfold. So just go ahead and choose a spot that looks pleasing to you and stick your artifact in there. Okay, now our mailbox has transformed itself into a tree. I think that's a little weird. A mailbox just became a tree. It's a very interesting concept. Talking about have a big imagination, your mailbox just turned into a tree. I wish I could go outside and go into my mailbox and it turned into like $1 billion. I think that would be pretty awesome. I would, like, everywhere I moved, I would just go outside and open my mailbox and turn it into like $1 billion and just become like the richest person alive. Be pretty cool. So this is the opening CG. Pretty much starts when you put the place down your first artifact. It's pretty cool. It's kind of anime-ish, and I like that about this game. I love the CGs in this game. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting things in this game, which this is why I like this game. It has so many, things that are pleasing to the eye. And the music's great too. There's a lot of things that play a big role in what makes a game and what breaks a game. The music, has to be good. I mean, you don't want to be sitting there playing a game and the music is like killing your ear. That's gonna turn you off with the game. And this game definitely does a good job. But I mean, it's also a SquareSoft game / Square Enix. So I mean, they've always been good with their music. So that's not surprising. It's just a good, all-around good game. So we will be getting into it here shortly. Figured I'd let the cutscene play out, just because it's pretty awesome. And there goes that mailbox again, and it's kind of floating. I don't know what you would call it, but they're basically, I guess, saying, hey, this is what happened when you actually placed the mailbox down. It actually floated into the sky for 20 minutes and then randomly turned into a tree. So, whatever with that, but... And here you get a glimpse of what what the tree looks like in, 2D anime style, which is pretty cool. The house looks like. Pretty awesome. Okay. And this part is pretty cool. I'll leave this up to you guys, get a chance to read the story. It's basically just talking about, in every mana game, the mana tree, was trying to help people, and people got greedy and killed each other off, and the mana tree disappeared, and people went looking for it, that kind of stuff. The beginning epicness of an epic story. All right, let's get into it now. Okay, so welcome to your room. There's a couple features of this room, and I'll go ahead and go over them. First, we have this area here, which is basically your bed. You can't like rest in it or anything like that, which I thought would have been cool if you could, like maybe rest in it or something, but you can't. But you can click on it, and a couple options come up. You have your save option and the two-player control. Now, this feature, I don't think it's necessarily unlocked yet. I think if you beat the game and a friend of yours or someone wants to play the game with you, they can play if they have a character, if they have a file in the game. They can bring their character over, or I guess it'll transfer their stats over, and you play with the guy character in the game, or reverse, whichever. So, but there's a trick to that, I believe, and I do know it. I'll go ahead and go over it when we get to the next town, but for right now, that option, I don't think it will work. Alright, over here we have a little cactus plant thing. What he does is every time you do a short story, if you come back to your home and come upstairs and talk to it, it will log all of your adventures. So, for general purposes, if you just want to keep track of the things that you've done, maybe even, just to see what artifacts you haven't gotten yet, things like that, definitely talk to this plant because he will log all of the stories for you. He'll run over here and write it into this little thing, this little pad on the wall there, little leaf pad, and then save your game, and you will have, that information. So you know what? Before we go downstairs, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the menu and go over a couple things. I want to try to be in depth as much as I possibly can about the game. So here you have your your general information, character level, character HP. You have the different stats that you have, and all this goes up when you level. Also, it even has your experience and how much to your next level. You'll notice that at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, you have an ability called the Synchro effect, which recovers a little bit of HP. And I think the HP does double when you have either a pet or a person with you, because it works between the two of you. So that's pretty cool. Next is your equipment tab, and here you obviously you equip your weapons, your armor, things like that. The cool feature I think is awesome about this game and about this particular tab is that if you go ahead and click on either your armor or your weapon, we'll do the weapon, menu will come up, equipped, auto select, total, auto, status, and remove. But we'll go ahead and click the status. Now here we'll give you, I guess, a little bit more information about your weapon, the strength of it, things like that. Elemental essences. That's something that you'll get into later when you are allowed to create your own weapons. You will get to imbue them with different essences, which is pretty cool. We'll jump into that a little bit later. But for right now, the feature I wanted to show you guys is that if you go ahead and get into this menu and you click on the weapon again, it allows you to rename it. That is awesome. I mean, there's not many games out there that will really let you change the name of an item, things like